Welcome back. We'll begin our conversations today around expectations in 2017, food security and agriculture. And we have here in the studio Olabode Adetoyi, a farmer, chairman, Poultry Association of Nigeria and Lagos branch. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Nathan.
You have been a farmer for over 20 years.
Yes.
So let's begin, before we get into the issue of food security in 2017, because there are cases of drought and water scarcity across the country. What's your take on this cattle rustling thing?
Thank you. Like a farmer, and in a layman language, cattle rustling is just stealing of cattle, maybe forcefully stealing of cattle. And we don't need to hire soldier or military to guide our farm. There is a simple solution to cattle rustling. The simple solution to cattle rustling is electronic tagging of cattle. If I have 1,000 cattle in my farms, it is my responsibility, just as you have maybe 2 or 3 cars, and you go to a store and let them do car tracking for you. So that electronic tag, which could be attached to any body part, hidden place, or from the air, is the solution. With that, you are able to locate where your cattle are at any particular time.
Mr. Adetoyi, you know that most of the herdsmen, those are herd cattle in Nigeria,
yes,
most of these cattle that are being rustled are owned by Fulani herdsmen.
Yes.
And most of them are believed to be not that educated.
Okay.
And they are not that well-to-do.
Yes.
So how do you expect them to go do electronic tagging of their cattle?
I was in Botswana in April last year. Botswana economy today, more than half of the GDP is cattle farming. They are exporting meat into EU. So 2.1 million population, you can't even compare it to Ikeja population. So it's what government and the farmer himself should do, and that should be the work of the Federal Ministry of Agri, State Ministry of Agri, and the local government. They are the ones to send extension workers to all these farmers, just like conducting a human population census. You will help them to know the number of cattle they have in their farms, and government will assist them through, we have a lot of computer guru in Nigeria that can develop a software for them. It will be like incentive. When you register your number of animals, government give you this electronic tag, and they say, look, if you can let us know the number of animals you have, government can assist them provide this electronic tag, and it will also help government to monitor the number of animals. Even when they are giving birth, the same thing will be repeated again, and from your computer in your farm or from the government side, they will know that, okay, a local, local government in Lagos, these are number of farm, these are number of tags, and if the animal die or is being taken to abattoir to be slaughtered, it will be monitored, and that should be the real work of the agri councillor in the local government or the state or the federal. We should run this thing like normal business. I believe it's doable if Botswana can do it. Okay.
Now, cattle rustling, these rustlers or cattle thieves have gone ahead in some localities to attack farmers. I mean, there were attacks in the southeast, attacks in some parts of the country, and then now some of these farmers actually run away from their farms, leaving their lands fallow. Their crops are destroyed, and we're talking about food security. How do you think this can be sorted out? Would this electronic tagging solve that?
Yes, with this electronic tagging, it's doable. We have understudied it when I went to Botswana. So it's something with government that we can do, even with a Métis Allah association. So if maybe 50 cattle is stolen from Ikeja local government, before it's taken to Sango-Ota, the government himself from their system in their office, they will know that this thing has been forcefully taken. That's why I said farmer, government has to jointly do it together, and the Mighty Allah Association, they should do this thing like business. We have seen it working in Botswana, so it will work in Nigeria too.
What about the question of ranches? There are those who are calling for the setting up of ranches, and how would that work? Or should that be done in line with this, or forget the ranches and focus on electronic tagging?
They could be done concurrently. Fantastic. I want to speak on that. In Botswana too, we have a lot of ranches in the northern Gaborone, and farmers are settled down there. There, where they are having their cattle farms, you can't see any crop farmer around that particular area. So which means they have dedicated area for cattle farmers in order to avoid this kind of clash. They have had it in the past, and they have mastered the system. So ranches has to be given to farmer. If farmer does not really have enough money, that is where government should come in, giving them a subsidized land. It's a business. If I want to have 5,000 cattle or 3,000 cattle, I should be able to approach government, and government should make it easier for me, because I don't want to start going to my bank to go and borrow money to process a CFO. And this is where government should come in. They should make land available. So when they have these ranches, feedlot system will be the solution. Because if I have my cattle on a spot, I can have like 3,000 cattle on a particular land. So concentrate, hay, silage, grasses, salt lick, medication will be given there. And that is what we started 2 years ago during the last administration under Grow Enhancement Scheme for cattle Fulani farmer. And the system works.
Where were you doing this one?
We were certain area were earmarked. Like I took over, I work on 11 states, even including Southwest, Plateau, Benue, Niger, Kaduna, and Co. We went to the location of these Fulani farmers. We have two categories. We have commercial farmers that maybe they are educated, that have their cattle on their own farm, and two, the Fulani farmers. And how we also get their number is we ask them to register, and when you register, you have incentive.
You said something about working in Kaduna. You worked in Kaduna with the herdsmen?
No, with the herdsmen, not Kaduna alone, even in the southwest.
Kaduna was one of the places you worked?
Yes.
So how is it that, if you say you started this last...
2 years ago.
2 years ago. How effective was it in Kaduna to get the herdsmen to register?
It was effective because they believe that if they register with their local government, 50% of the feed will be given to them free.
Was that done?
Farmer pay, yeah, it was done. Farmer pay 50%, while federal government, the state, they pay 50%. In fact, some states pay 100% for the Fulani farmers and some commercial ranches, and it works.
So if this scheme started 2 years ago, and you say it worked, so what brought about the attacks and the thieving of cows?
The system stopped because there's no money to follow it up. It's a lot of money, but at least it's worth it if government can take a look at a growing enhancement scheme again for the Fulani farmers.
Okay, let's leave the cattle thing and come down to the farmers and food security in the country. How would you say we have fared so far?
Well, if you take, they say an hungry man is an angry man. If there is food, at least you continue with life. We can still improve, though we are not there yet in terms of food security. But at least in the last 3 years now, government are paying serious attention to the issue of food security, and that's why you can see so many programs coming up on agriculture now.
Okay, we'll take a moment and we'll come back. We'll bring in my colleague from Abuja, Markwe. Don't go away.